everyone, it's Karen here, independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up, and you can find me over at inspiredbygram.com. Welcome to my channel and thanks so much for stopping by today. This is series number 5 and the final series in our Traditions of Christmas and Traditional Labels Bundle Christmas card classes. This is going to be design 14, 15, and 16. And at the end of this video, when it's all done and said, I will have a PDF available for purchase for $25, and the link will be in the description box. So let's get started. We're going to go really quickly through all the cards we've made over here on the left and then these on the right. So by the way, this is the stamp set I've been using, Traditional Labels, and it is a standalone stamp set, or you can purchase it at as a bundle with the dies. And then I've used the Peace on Earth from the Peace on Earth stamp set. So we're going to go real quick over these, and I'll just show you the front side. If you want to see the insides, you can see series 1, 2, 3, or 4. Actually, series 4 will have all of the cards that we've already made. So really quick, all of these are easy to mass produce for you. And that was the kind of goal of the video, is try to make some cards that are really pretty, kind of over the top, but really not hard to make. Because the designer series paper does its work for you. So this is the Traditions of Christmas designer series paper. It's a specialty paper because of the gold foil that's in the sheets. So one side has gold foil, the other has like a plain, simple design. So we're going to play with the foil side as always, and the last card is kind of a wow card. You're not going to believe I'm going to use Bubble Bath. So actually, I'm not going to show you the designs because I want to surprise you. And I think that last card is like, what are you doing with that color? But I can tell you it looks fabulous. So we're going to get started with the Season's Greetings card, and I will show this to you really quickly. There's no die cutting. It's just using your paper trimmer, a little bit of ink, and a little bit of ink on the inside. So it's super easy, very easy to mass produce. Now, if I was mass producing this, this square here is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I would cut that down to maybe 3 by 3. You'll have a little bit more white showing along the border, but you could get more use out of your designer paper. So let's start going through everything. Here's the envelope I paired up with on that card here. And then we'll go through all the little pieces here. We've got our basic white medium envelope from Stampin' Up. We'll be using that one to stamp on. And then here is our real red card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then we have a piece of basic white, which we'll be doing some stamping on. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And then we've got our square here. I'm going to say this is 4 by 4, and then followed up by 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Now this is a different pattern, so you can just see a variation is what I had left in the pack. And then on the inside, we've got our panel, which is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. And I'm going to add a little tiny strip to the bottom of it. And this is 2 3/4 by 1/2 inch. So our stamping is not very much. So we're going to take our Season's Greetings stamp, and we've got that one over here. And also on the inside, we're going to be saying sending love and joy. So we are going to be using real red ink, which is the color of the cardstock in this panel right here. Let me grab the Season's Greetings here. They kind of look very same when you're just looking at them really quickly, but they do say something different. So our goal here is to stamp the sentiment down below and kind of in the middle, and kind of envision like almost a 2-inch space there. So I'm going to come up about 1/2 inch, and I'm just looking at the left and the right side of the stamp here just to see if I'm kind of in the middle. And there's our Season's Greetings. And then on the inside of the card base, or no, on that little panel, I swear I lose everything on my desk. Here it is. we are going to say sending love and joy. And we'll just put this up here. And then on our envelope, let's say, let's go with Merry Christmas. I do like that sentiment a lot. So I'm going to stamp that straight across. And let me find my Merry. Actually, no, I'm going to go with this one. There is another stamp that says Merry, but it's all capital letters. I'm going to use that one on the next card, so I'll save that one. All right, so there's Merry Christmas. Now the easy part is just assembling it, and then we'll be done. Again, this is a great card to mass produce. So we've got our silicone craft sheet here, and let's find all of our little parts. We're going to work with more of the focal point right now. So we're going to be working with our squares. And let me put that over the side. I do have backup adhesive refills off to the side, so I want to use this one. Who knows when it's going to be done, so it'll probably happen when I'm on camera here, but these are pre-recorded videos, so sometimes I can stop and start again, but other times I like to show you like how to change out your adhesive. That would be good if you don't really know. So that is all we got for this one. We can grab some dimensionals here. We're going to add 5, so 4 to the corners here, about 1/2 inch, and then 1 in the center. Let's give those a good press, and then we'll take our piercing tool and we will remove those backings. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 plus 1 is 5. Oops, there we go. So we got 5 of those. So that is prepped, ready to go. Now we're going to take our card base here and also the white panel that we stamped on. We'll add adhesive to the back side. Just 5 tick marks here should be good with our Stampin' Seal, plus or seal. We'll center this one on. And now we're going to take this one right here, which we've already prepped. This is directional, so I'm kind of looking at this flower bouquet right there. And then we're going to add this. See, I almost stamped a little too high. That was close. I can add some embellishments down here so it doesn't look too funky. Now let's work with the inside panel, the Sending Love and Joy, and I've got a little random strip of designer paper here that matches. And we'll just add a little bit of adhesive. And I'll look at it and see if it is it is somewhat directional. So we'll just add that here. I'm going to double check that it's not going over the edge. It's going over the edge just a little bit. So I'll just take my paper scissors here and just trim that off. Let's add some more adhesive here. Oops, we are done. So that was seal. Let's go with our Seal Plus. And then we have our Sending Love and Joy. Okay, so now the front of the card we're going to embellish, and I've got the decorative dots, but I'm kind of toying with what color I want to bring into the picture here. I could go with some greens, and these are the like Poppy Parade Real Red kind of color. Let's see. I really want to bring out the green here, so let's see if I can do that by adding. Let's go with a large one down here. I'm not going to put them on totally. We're going to wait and see what this all looks like. I'm trying to fill up this area here that kind of got a little too high with our sentiment. 1, 2, and then a small one can go up top. Let's go right there. So I think that's okay. Let's do that. So we've got 3 of those little dots there. These are the delightful decorative dots. There's lots of them. There's 3 different colors and 3 different sizes, which I love the option of 3 different sizes. Okay, so here are our cards. Here's the Merry Christmas that we just stamped and teamed up with this card design here with the designer series paper on the front. And then we did use the iridescent pearls on this one and we teamed it up with some designer paper on a strip, which is on the outside of the envelope. And here's the inside here, and then the inside on this one. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we're going to move on to our next video and surprise for you. All right, here is card number 2 in series number 5 of the Traditions of Christmas specialty paper, along with the traditional labels bundle. So we've got a little bit of die cutting here and embossing, but I would say this is kind of over the top. If I want to mass produce this one, I need some time because we're using that die cutting machine several times. We've got the embossed panel right here with the exposed brick, and then we have the textured notes. I cannot remember that. I'm second guessing myself. With gold, and then the designer series paper is die cut out, the bouquet is die cut, and the label. And on inside it's very simple with some stamping, and then I've got some fussy cutting over here, or else you can use the die. This is an edge piece here, so lots of die cutting on this one, lots of embossing. However, it does look really nice, and once you get it going, a stream, you'll be perfectly fine making this card. So we'll take out all the pieces here and we'll make it together. So here's our basic white envelope that we'll stamp on. And then we've got our bouquet of flowers, put that aside. And then we have our little edge piece for the inside. Here's our traditional labels, die cut in old olive. And here's our designer paper cut out along with some gold. And then I've got my embossed panel, which is from the exposed brick 3D, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and then our card base, which is a basic white 8.5 by 5 1/2 scored at 4 1/4. So these are the items that we'll need for stamping. Let's pull in our piercing mat, and I'll be using old olive ink, and we'll work with the little banner here first. And let me find the Sending Love and Joy, and we'll be stamping tone on tone, so old olive ink onto old olive cardstock. Now, if you wanted a darker green, then maybe Mossy Meadow or even Pretty Peacock would work, but I think this one looks really nice. It does stand out above the cardstock there. So we've got the Sending Love and Joy. And then on the inside, we have the Merry Christmas. So we got the capital Merry and then the fancy Christmas that we've been using throughout. So let's grab our card base here, and we'll ink up again in Old Olive. And let's go this way with the Merry and then Christmas. We'll throw this one in and we'll stamp maybe really close to the Merry and maybe straight across. I think that looks good. Now we're going to flip this one over. My last card, I forgot to put that angel policy on there, so I'll have to go back and stamp that one, but let me just grab it right now. We'll get it done. And then we'll come back to our envelope here, and let me, I'm going to stamp that Merry Christmas once again. So I'll start with Christmas and then work my way up. So there's a Christmas, and then Merry we'll put over here on the left. And of course, I got some smudge. That's okay though, no worries. Let's close this ink pad. I don't know where it came from. My fingers seem to be clean. I'm sure I'll find it again. Okay, let's work on that front of the card here. So we'll take our card base. We're gonna work with the panel here. Let's grab our Seal Plus, whatever remains. We're probably gonna have to change it out is my guess. Either this card or definitely the next one. See that little orange warning strip? It's a neon orange. You most definitely can see it. Oh, we can't see it anymore because it's all gone. So let me show you how to take apart your adhesive. And you'll do this really carefully, kind of pull up, and then this kind of pops out. This is disposable. Put it in my recycle bin, and let me grab over a refill here, and we'll just cut this off. Now this Stampin' Seal Plus stamp, and then the seal is on sale with our Black Friday sale. I'm not sure what the status of it. It was out of stock, in stock, out of stock. So you can check it out at inspiredbygraham.com and just hit the shop now button. I really can't say if it's available or not because it's been changing like almost daily. So it's a good, great, I think it's a nice adhesive that really is very strong. The Seal Plus is generally used for 3D, but I do like to use it for card making as well. So let's come back to our exposed brick panel. And then we're going to add this on. There's no right or wrong way on this one. So we'll just adhere it straight down. And now we're going to set that one aside and bring in our foil and our designer paper that have been die cut. And we'll just add 4 little tick marks of adhesive here. Non-directional, so it doesn't really matter. We're just going to layer these 2 together. And then this is going to go straight down on top of that exposed brick panel. And we'll center this one the best we can on the card front. Oops. Try that again. And now let's bring in the bouquet. We will be popping this one up, so let me grab my dimensionals here. And we'll just go around, probably 4 dimensionals will be good. So I'll start at the top and the bottom and then kind of work my way to see where I think that'll be good. Press those down and then our backings come off. And then we're going to adhere this one over towards the right side here. That way we can have enough room for the Sending Love and Joy stamp die cut there. That is just beautiful as is, but we're going to add in this sentiment and we're going to adhere it right here, but then dimensionals we're going to go under the Sending Love part. So let's flip this one over, dimensionals on this side. I'll put, let's go with 2 and we'll stagger them. And then turn it around and we're going to add our Seal Plus right there. So technically this is going to get stuck to the little bow and then these 2 are going to raise it up to the level of the bouquet. You can put it at an angle, but I think I'm going to go straight across just because everything is straight. Just be careful you don't go over the edge here. You want it to fit in your envelope. And now on the inside, I've got that edge piece here. And I believe the edge was right up here. So I did take off a couple flowers. I'm gonna just adhere this right down at the bottom. You really can't tell where the edge was. So 3 little tick marks here. Let's see, will it look okay over here? Let's see. Or across from each other. Or you can add it over here too. I think it looks a little lonely over there. I'm going to put it opposite of the sentiment. Just make sure that little leaf is not going over. Now we're going to embellish this one here. I think what I'm going to do is I think the red in the spruce is a little too bright. I'm going to work with the smaller embellishments. These will get toned down once they're put on the card front here. And I'm going to do the same thing I did over here. So we've got one down here in this area. And I try to find like flat pieces or areas that don't have a lot of embossing. And we'll go to the medium size. Let's add this one over here. That seems to be good. And then a little one. We'll finish off our triangle and let's go right here. Okay, so let's show the 2 cards here. Here's the one we just made. I'm gonna move this one, it's still bothering me a little bit. I gotta move it just down there. Okay, that's a lot better. So there's the one we made, and then here is the sample card, and we've got our envelope that we stamped, and somewhere else is the envelope that goes with this one. So I hope you enjoy this one. We're gonna go to our next card, which is called 'Tis the Season. Okay, here is the next to last card in our series of 5 using the traditional labels bundle along with the Traditions of Christmas specialty paper. So this one here is called 'Tis the Season. We're bringing in the beautiful motifs dies. And then on the inside here, we've got our Merry Christmas stamped in Secret C. And here's that real red ribbon too, to showcase everything here that we've kind of used in our series. So, and then the envelope, of course, has a strip. Okay, so our envelope will get stamped in Secret C. Here is our card base, which is another 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. This is Secret C, and I've already pre-embossed it with the beautiful motifs. So with the beautiful motifs, you can use it flat, or you can kind of pop these little leaves up just to give it a little bit more dimension. Even the little ones do pop up. But you know, when you put it, I got another little ladybug flying around. So when you do put it in the card, the envelope, it may get a little smushed, but if you kind of bend them up like I am doing, people will see that it's a die cut, and it's so beautiful. Okay, so that's all done. Let's pop this one up a little bit more, and we'll set this one aside. Then we have a piece of the Traditions of Christmas, which is 2 by 5.5. We have our inside panel, which is basic white 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. And then we have our textured notes die cut in basic white for the sentiment, and then a strip of designer paper, and that is for the inside. So we're gonna try to stamp this 'Tis the Season straight. And I've got one try at it, or 2 if I need to use the back side, because I don't have a spare with me. So we'll grab our Secret C ink, and then 'Tis the Season here. It's straight across. So hopefully I can get this pretty good. And we'll leave that ladybug on here. I've heard ladybugs bring you good luck. So I'm just kind of hovering around. Okay, I got that one. That's great. And then Merry Christmas on the inside panel. I'm going to do my best not to squish her. Mary is over here. Christmas. Get this over here and not go over the edge on the right side. And then our envelope, which is going to say Merry Christmas. It's staying there. It's not moving. Probably sees my shadows. Okay, that's all done. We're gonna flip this over. We already did that, so, oh, what? That's my sample card, Karen. Oh boy, this is my next to last card, you guys. It's the most videos I've done in like a all day videotaping. So that's why you see the same shirt. These videos are going to come out on different days. So I haven't worn this shirt like 5 days in a row. I've actually worn it once, and I've done most all the videos. 3, 4, and 5 series in one day. Okay, we're good to go. Let's bring in our silicone craft sheet to protect our work surface, and our card over here so you can see how it's gonna look like, and our pieces over here that are hidden. We're gonna adhere this one here, and again it's 2 inches across, and it's gonna get flushed top and bottom with the edge. I do want to leave a little bit of Secret C over here on the edge, so it just kind of breaks it up a little bit. Just be careful over here. If you do die cut a little bit too far in, it's going to get covered up. kind of like I did here, but all I did was pop that leaf over top of the ribbon, and that works perfectly. So let's grab our adhesive. And do you notice when you put a new roll of Seal Plus refill in, it like goes so much smoother? I think all adhesives are like that. Once you get down to the bottom, it gets a little tight. So I've turned my card to like a horizontal look for me, just so that I can see that secret C on the other side. Let me pop this leaf up here. Okay, and now I can adhere it down. I'm gonna take the ribbon. You gotta be careful with this step because you only have a little spot to kind of adhere it together. So first we'll get the length that we need. Let me turn it horizontally again. It'll be easier to work with. Oh, look, I only have a little bit of ribbon left. So this one, I want it to land about 1/2 of an inch up from the edge. Our sentiment's going to go here, and this needs to get covered with our sentiment. And then this one here is going to about match it, maybe go over a little bit. I'm going to straighten this edge too because it might be a little bit easier to work with a straight edge. And now let's add our Seal Plus right here. I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to use half of that adhesive for this part of the ribbon. And I'm trying to get this ribbon in the center of this seam here. Just cut this off again. Okay, now we're going to wrap this around, make sure our ribbon is flat on the inside. Going to come around. If you want to add some adhesive here, you can. That will kind of hold the ribbon in place at the top. And then we're going to slide this under those little leaves and then press it down over here. Okay, so that works. That worked out really well. And I think I've got enough ribbon for that final card. Oop. There's a ladybug. I'll put her over here in the picture so you can keep an eye on her. Let's grab our, oh boy, she just flew off. She's going for my light. Let's grab some dimensionals here. I've got some little pieces left over, edge pieces here. Let's use them up. I did notice that the regular size dimensionals are almost too big for this little sentiment die. So if you have the mini dimensionals, I probably would work better, or just cut some really small pieces from the edges. And that sheet is completed. So we got rid of that one. I can almost start with a new sheet of dimensionals. It's like getting a new stamp set, right? A new sheet of dimensionals is so, like, it's thrilling to use a new sheet to open it up. Okay, let's find that little seam here. So we're going to stick this right down. But before I do, I'm going to look at the left and the right side because I want that centered. I think it looks good. So we'll just get this put down. One last look. And squish her down. Okay, next up is the Merry Christmas inside panel. I was going to put this over here, but that's not going to work now. So what I'll do is I'll just add some adhesive here, and then we'll apply that strip, and then I'll just trim it down. And I'm going to leave a little tiny bit of white showing. And then let's trim this off. Oops, wrong one. I think that's the second time I've done that. All right, there's our big, bold Merry Christmas and Secret C. And now we're gonna embellish this little flower here. I did use the pearls, iridescent pearls. So let's see what we can use with, I think we're gonna have to go, I might do red, but will that look too red, white, and blue? It's gonna be the smaller ones. So I think it's gonna be okay. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be okay. So let's just kind of add them. I'm gonna add 5, so that's an odd number. And they're all gonna be the little small ones. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I need one down here. Let's go 5. There. I didn't want to put one at the top because I think that would have been just a little bit too much. All right, so let's look at these totally different looking cards, but the same layout. So if you have the beautiful motifs, I would highly recommend trying to do something like that. There's different options in that die set, so it'll definitely give you some choices. All right, so this one here, I angled off towards the right. And this one here, I kind of angled up towards the middle. So that's kind of the difference. And then on the inside, we've got the Merry Christmas. And then on this side, a little different. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Again, lots of die, you know, a little bit of die cutting. We've got 2 pieces here on this one. So I guess that would be somewhat easy to kind of multitask or whatever you want to call it by now. I think my brain is getting a little fried. So we're going to say we saved that last one for you. And I'm making a Christmas card with bubble bath. All right, here she is. Here's the 'Tis the Season. All right, here she is. 'Tis the Season in bubble bath. So I think what makes this card is the very elegant, delicate pink flowers here, bubble bath, along with the damask embossing folder. I think the combination there and a little pop of the real red shiny ribbon works good. And then of course, I'm using an edge piece on the inside, sending happy wishes. So let's get started creating this one. So for our card kit, we have our basic white envelope. We'll be stamping on that one. And then our bubble bath. And that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We've got our textured notes die cut, the same one we just used. We've got our bouquet of flowers. Our next one is our basic white or white all season velvet in white. Or wait, no, it's not. It's just a basic white. And then here's a damask embossing folder. I used that one for embossing the bubble bath panel, which is 4 by 5 1/4. Here's my little edge piece for the inside. And then our final panel, which is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. So we need this pile here for stamping. And then all of this is going to go over to my left. So we're going to start with 'Tis the Season first, and that is going to be stamped with real red ink. So let me grab that in my pile. And we'll try to get this one straight. It's a little bit easier when you have a photopolymer stamp. You can see right through it versus our cling stamps. So again, I'm going to hover over and straight down and pop it up. That looks pretty good. So we'll set that one aside. And then on the inside, we've got 3 different words, sending happy wishes. So we'll just start with sending. And we're just going to work our way down. So sending. Oh, shoot. Let's flip that over and see if I can get a better image. sending. Happy and wishes. Okay, sending happy wishes. Let's stamp on the back side of the card here. And then finally, we're going to stamp that envelope. Let's go with just the plain old Merry Christmas. And then, let's see, I'm going to use the capital, or actually, let's go Happy Christmas. There we go. That all works good. We'll close the Real Red ink and make sure I have none on my fingers because Real Red will definitely smudge. Let's switch out and grab our craft sheet here. And now it's pretty easy. What we're going to do first is we're going to work with the damask embossed panel. We're going to wrap our Real Red ribbon around it. But first I like to make sure I'm working with this correctly. We look for the stem that's at the bottom. You can barely see it, but it's like right there. So I know this is going the correct way. We'll grab our Real Red. I'm going to just take this right off the bolt since I only have a little bit left. And we're going to kind of put this at an angle, kind of something like that. So we can flip this over and we can kind of guesstimate where that adhesive needs to go. I'm going to start with this one first, and then we'll finish with this one here. That way I know I've got a solid, like, straight across ribbon there. I'm just going to pull it a little tight, and it's going to go this way, the opposite way. And then this is all I have of my Real Red ribbon. That'll go in my scrap bin for somebody else to use. Now, that looks pretty good. Before we kind of set it down on that card base, we want to make sure it looks okay. So it does in my mind. So I'm going to add my adhesive here. I am definitely going to add adhesive over top of that ribbon there. And on this side as well. And then we'll adhere this one right straight down. Then we go with the basic white traditional labels die cut. See, once you get everything ready to go, your mass production should go very quickly. This gets adhered. I put it down straight in the middle, is kind of eyeballing it. And then our bouquet, that is going to get popped up with some Stampin' Dimensionals. So we'll grab some of those. And again, probably 4 is going to work, just like the other time. I don't think I've ever done 16 cards for a retreat. And I surprised my attendees in my to-go boxes that that's what they were getting. So I usually just do like 6 and then they make 2 of each. So I did a little bonus this year. I couldn't stop using this paper. Once I started using it, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Why would I want to stop? So I ended up with 16 designs. So that PDF, you will get 16 card designs. It's only $25. So if you're looking for card designs with all the measurements and all the products that I use, and just a quick $25 to my PayPal link, you'll be able to get that as a download. I will be downloading probably tutorials once a day because it's not an instant download. It's because I don't have that set up on my website yet, but I'll get it to you as soon as possible. I do get an email from PayPal that you have ordered it, and I'll get it sent to you just as soon as I can. All right, we're going to look at that first, make sure it's straight. We're gonna set that down, press a little bit here, and then let's work on the inside panel. And here's our little edge piece. What I think I'm gonna do is let's adhere this piece first, and then we'll work with that bouquet. I think I'm just gonna go opposite, just like I did on that other card. But I just wanted to double check see how it's gonna look like on the inside. I don't wanna go too close there because then I'll get folded over. So I gotta bring it in just a little bit. So that's what it would look like here. Oh gosh, I'm off camera. So sorry if I'm off camera on the whole entire video. I wasn't even paying attention. And that's what it would look like over here. So this, putting it over on the left side here is going to give you a little bit more writing space. So let's just add it there. And then we watch that over here. Line it up. And then we'll press it down. On the front of the card, we're going to embellish. And I feel like adding the red could be way over the top. We need something subtle. Here's those iridescent pearls. But since I'm working with these and challenging myself, I'm going to set down up this one just to see. I'm not going to like stick it all the way down. I'm just envisioning. And then let's put... I think the red, it's got to go red. I can already see. You know how funny that is? You think something's not going to go well, and it most certainly did. So let's go all 3 different sizes. We'll do 2 down here, and then the tiny one up here in this corner. Okay, there you have it, you guys. 16 card designs for you. Let's see what these 2 look like together. This one's got the blue flowers, like the pool party version, or balmy blue. And then here's the bubble bath. So we're going to go through all of these card designs once again, and we'll see how it goes. So this is really funny because look, this is truly bubble bath, but the versions really look different. So I'm not sure if the sun did something to my cardstock or if it came this way. I don't go through and look at every single sheet of cardstock. That would be crazy. But it certainly looks a little different, but that's okay. We'll work with it. So here's the 'Tis the Season. We're going to lay all 16 cards out for you. Another 'Tis the Season. I'm not going to do, let's do the ones we kind of made because I want the ones that we made kind of being that focal point. So that is going to be on the top. So let's grab these. And then we'll start here. This is the first one. So 1, there should be 16 in here. Who knows? I probably made a mistake. 2, 3, hopefully not. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh gosh, I lost count. I think 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm missing 1 card. I don't know which one it is, you guys. I'm sure you guys do. So anyway, there's 15 cards of the 16 that we have for you in the PDF. So again, at the time of this recording, I'm recording this on November 29th, I think it is. And there's just a day and a half left of my ordering special where you can receive 3 card kits fully assembled, or you can receive the kits themselves individually where you'll stamp and put everything together using the Ness Winter Designer Series paper with a $50 order, not including your sales tax or shipping or any Stampin' Rewards. So You can order at inspiredbygraham.com. And thank you so much for watching my videos here. As always, I do appreciate your support, and I'm going to be using, let's see, the Peace in Earth bundle for my next card series, which will include some Christmas cards using Peace on Earth, and then all kind of like thinking of you. So stay tuned for that one, and you guys have a great evening. I know I'm taping this in the evening time. It could be morning when you see this. So thank you again for your support and following my channel. I do appreciate you. Have a great day.